My fiancé screamed at me, called me a pathetic loser, and walked out. My parents, they left me a crumbling cabin in Alaska as my inheritance, while my younger brother got their $800,000 mansion in New York. I felt broken, humiliated, worthless. But when I flew to that frozen wilderness and opened the cabin door, I found something that would change everything, something worth $50 million. If you've ever been underestimated, humiliated, or written off by the people who were supposed to love you most, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and witness a story where karma isn't just real, it's spectacular. Let's dive in. I still remember the look on my fiance's face as she stormed out of my apartment, heels clicking sharply against the floor. Her words were like ice. You'll never amount to anything. You're pathetic. I felt my chest tighten, my hands trembling, my stomach twisting into knots. I tried to reason, to plead, but there was nothing to say. Not after the final blow my parents had delivered. When my parents handed me the papers for the inheritance, I could barely hold back the laughter and the tears. While my younger brother would be living in luxury in an $800,000 mansion in New York, I was given a broken cabin, a skeleton of a house in the middle of Alaska, paint peeling, roof sagging, windows cracked. It was practically uninhabitable. I remember staring at the tiny, faded envelope that came with the keys, my fingers numb from shock. We thought it would be perfect for you, the note said. A chance to build your own life. Their idea of a perfect life was a frozen shack with no running water in the middle of nowhere. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to vanish. I felt powerless, invisible, like life itself had conspired to humiliate me. Every voice in my head reminded me I was a failure. My fiancés, my parents, the world's, but something in me refused to accept that verdict. I booked the flight to Alaska the very next morning. I didn't even tell anyone where I was going. I wanted isolation, a chance to think without anyone's judgment, a place to process the sting of betrayal. When I landed, the cold hit me like a physical blow, the kind of cold that seeps into your bones, that makes your teeth chatter, that makes every breath feel like fire. Snow stretched endlessly in every direction, and there it was, barely visible through the blizzard like haze. The cabin. I approached slowly, half expecting it to collapse as I touched the door. My fingers grazed the warped wood. I hesitated. Something about this place made my pulse quicken, not fear, not dread. Anticipation. I turned the rusty key in the lock, and the door creaked open. What I saw inside made me stumble backward. There, in the dim light of the broken cabin, was a vault. A real heavy-duty steel vault tucked behind a false wall. I stared at it, disbelief freezing me in place. Why would my parents leave this behind? Why here, in this forgotten corner of the world? I dropped to my knees and began inspecting it. There was a note on top in my mother's elegant handwriting. To the one who they never believed in. This is yours. Use it wisely. My heart raced, hands shaking. I entered the combination scratched into the note. The vault door groaned as it swung open, revealing stacks of gold bars, jewels, and documents, proof of offshore accounts, investments, and assets totaling over $50 million. I sat there, trembling, the cold forgotten, as tears streamed down my face. The pain, the humiliation, the endless nights of feeling worthless, all of it was suddenly overshadowed by the incredible truth. I had been set up for a purpose greater than I could imagine. My parents' insult wasn't cruelty. It was a test, and somehow, I had passed without even realizing it. I spent hours going through the vault. Each item told a story of foresight, of strategic planning, of a fortune hidden away from the unworthy. My brother's mansion, my fiancé's scorn, they were nothing compared to this. By the time I returned to New York, I had a plan. I wasn't going to just quietly enjoy this fortune. Oh no, I wanted the world, and especially those who doubted me, to witness my rise. I called my fiancé first. Her voice was sharp, dripping with condescension. So, did you figure things out in Alaska? Or are you still stuck in that frozen shack? I smiled, my hands steady now, my voice calm and controlled. Actually, I'm done waiting for permission. I'm taking control now. And just so you know, the cabin wasn't empty. I'm worth $50 million. I guess that makes me the one who's unstoppable. I could hear her inhale sharply. The disbelief, the shock, the sudden understanding. It was delicious. She sputtered, no words coming out, and I hung up. Next, my parents. I invited them to dinner under the guise of reconciliation. They came smug, smiling, proud of their golden child in New York. But I had a surprise waiting. I handed them documents showing the vault, the fortune, the strategic genius in Alaska. I watched as their faces drained of color. Every glance, every whisper, every tiny twitch of shock. It was pure justice. And my brother, he had always mocked me, laughed at my loser life. I sent him a single message. Your mansion doesn't come with a $50 million fortune hidden in the snow. Guess who just did better than all of us? He didn't reply. I didn't expect him to. Silence can be the most satisfying reaction. Through it all, I realized something profound. Revenge isn't about destruction. It isn't about making people suffer. True revenge, true satisfaction comes from becoming the person they never believed I could be. It comes from achieving success in a way that is undeniable, elegant, and completely my own. Sitting back in my own penthouse, overlooking New York City with the vault's assets safely managed, I felt a peace I hadn't known in years. The pain of being underestimated, humiliated, and dismissed had been transformed into power, confidence, and independence. My past no longer dictated me, my choices did, and the world could see it. Sometimes life's harshest betrayals are disguised as lessons. Sometimes the very people who try to break you are the ones who set you up for the ultimate triumph. I had been underestimated, dismissed, and mocked, but all of it became fuel. And now, the fire of their doubt had forged a version of me that could never be stopped. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? Comment below and share your stories of vindication. If this tale of being underestimated turned into unstoppable success inspired you, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Remember, true power often comes from the places you least expect.